What's happening, fellas? We have only one brand new 2023 Gasgas 700 ES. Junior riding out of the showroom. It was on display in the museum on the second floor. It is absolutely stunning. I'll let you Junior tell you all about the bike because he has his own. He has one of these that he set up with a full Rottweiler performance kit. This one here is 100% bone stock. We took this down to Daytona and used it as a demo during Daytona Bike Week. No one has ridden this motorcycle besides me around the pits at Daytona and Junior just driving it out of the showroom now. So it's virtually brand new with 124 miles on it. Now yours is the same exact thing as this, but you put the Rottweiler chip and intake and everything else on it. So I know you fell in love with yours. Tell us a little bit about this Gasgas 700. Why would someone want to buy this one right here?
So this is a rebadged KTM 690 or Husqvarna 701. So it's right off the same assembly line of the greatest of all time, single cylinder, 4-stroke, big bore thumper, made in Austria by some of the best engineers. This bike is just light years ahead of the KLR 650 and the XR 650. Those bikes haven't changed in 30 years. Whereas this bike, it makes 70 horse out of the box of the rear wheel. Well, just shy of that. So, around 67 rear wheel horsepower out of the box. Pre-tuned, pre-bolt-ons. It's got single cam head, high compression, 700cc piston. It's got dual oil pickups, so it's got great oiling, long service intervals. And the torque curve is just incredible. It's a total weapon in this ES model. It has a WP Explorer fork and shock that's super capable. Take this thing off some jumps if you like, but it's sprung nice and stiff for going down the street or taking it off-road. It's just a total delight. Of course, it's got the 2-up passenger pegs. Brembo brakes come standard. It's got the spoke wheel set. Of course, it's street legal bike, headlight, taillight with the blinkers. Range is around 200 miles. So this is a bike that you can go cross country on. You could take it to the motocross track or around town, just doing wheelies the whole way. The 700, it literally makes double the horsepower of the XR 650, and it weighs the same. So this is a bike that right off of idle, the motor's not even breathing hard. Just crack the throttle and get it up in a wheelie. It's all the way up into top gear. ES has the off-road gearing, but you can go 100 miles an hour on it. It'll do the ton, no problem. As like Senior was talking about, emissions standards. These bikes are a little bit corked up from the factory. You see this one's bone stock. You have the stock intake and exhaust system and the evap stuff for emissions, but Rottweiler makes a kit. You do the bolt-on air filter, the Power Commander tuner with a preset tune. Rottweiler has done a bunch of testing on Dynajet dynos, cruising, developing maps for these, and you can really wake them up, get a better throttle response and gain up to 10 horsepower with bolt-ons. So the end result, you have a bike that literally has better power to weight ratio than a CR500.
That's insane.
And it's an absolute animal. It's motocross-esque. It doesn't feel like a bulky bike. It's got the same motocross handlebars, the ODI lock-on grips, all the Brembo stuff up top. Comes standard with a map switch, ABS and traction control. There is a way to permanently disable those if you're just an off-road rider. Suspension's fully adjustable as well. Out of the box, this thing felt sweet. And my guy Kevin Condon out in Indianapolis, he purchased one of these ESs from us earlier this year. And out of the box, without adjusting the clickers, he's riding his, doing some around town stuff and cruising on it. And he's got a KTM twin adventure bike in the stable. He's an off-road guy too, but this is like the problem with the adventure bikes, they're 470 pounds, I think, and you get a little bit more range, and they make good power, but it's not athletic like this bike is. Like, we've taken this bike, not this bike in particular, we have another one in the showroom. We keep these in the collection, and we will forever. I'm always going to own one of these because they're just an absolute hoot to ride, and honestly, I can't get enough. Total love affair with this bike, this model. And it took us until we got a Gasgas franchise for me to realize that KTM's got it going on. It's this is the latest and greatest LC4 engine from KTM, and just a total hoot, guys, total hoot. So this one's a brand new one off allocation. It has 127 miles on it. It was warranted, registered to the shop, but the only guy that's ridden it is the guy behind the camera.
The 126 of those miles were with this pretty little lady on the back of it, riding around the pits of Daytona, doing like literally 15, 20 miles an hour. Hi, honey.
Hi, babe.
How are you?
Good. I got the bird set up, your hair product.
Awesome, awesome. So, literally, it's only been ridden around the tarred pits of Daytona, the asphalt and tar. It's never been off-road. There's videos online if you want to see Junior on his doing the triple jump and riding a sand track in Florida. And his sounds different because it's got the open intake on it. He's waiting on the exhaust, which is on back order. But like he sold your 650 was completely customized to your liking. And you spent a fortune on the engine on that. You had like $5,000 in the motor on that.
It's a great bike. It's a great chassis, but it pales in comparison to this. So we did a stage 4 engine build, basically with ported the head and 4-angle valve job, and what else we do? High compression pit. It had like 12.5 to 1 compression ratio, and it's still an air-cooled bike, and it made 45 horse. So, and that's after a full engine build. And in the shop we have machining tools and a world-class engine builder, Jeff Castine, who is super experienced with dyno tuning. Of course, that's a carbureted bike, but 45 is what we got. It had a good torque curve, but it signed off early. It didn't like to rev like this bike, and at the end of the day, it's still an air-cooled bike that's not going to have the same maintenance intervals that this will. This is a bike that you keep the air filter clean, change the engine oil. It's got an indestructible top end, DLC coated followers, titanium valves. They don't wear in like the Japanese bikes. They don't have cam chain issues, and this is a long running, big performance single.
So the suspension, to put this kind of suspension on your XR650 would cost you about $7,000.
Dude,
it would be a fortune to put Brembo disc brakes and WP forks and shock and all that.
We were going through sand whoops on my bike. Some stuff that you wouldn't even think about going out on the XR650 because they're great bikes, but just nowhere near the capability of the ES700. So, and these have been in production, guys. This isn't a new model that has quirks to be worked out. This is a rebadged KTM 690. It's the same bike off the same assembly line. This motor's been in production for a few years, and they just they keep getting better. This is a new model as far as to the KTM group. December of 2022 was the embargo date. So these haven't even been announced for 4 months at this point. So this is all new as far as the model to the KTM group lineup.
I seen a video online of one doing just over 10 seconds in the quarter mile bone stock. These are absolute rocket ships.
Quick Shift Plus. So all that is it's just ECU tuning. So when you go to, so let's say you do a start and you hold the throttle wide open, literally, and when you shift up, when the transmission senses it's getting shifted into gear, it cuts ignition. So you just hold the throttle wide open and just bang.
It's almost like an air shifter, basically.
Exactly, and it's silky smooth. It's great.
That's how you can do a 10-second quarter mile on a trail bike. And
exactly.
You had one ride on this, and you walked in and you said, "Sell the 650. I want this." So that's what we did. We sold this 650 Honda, and he got the Gasgas 700. And then you ordered like $4,000 every doodad out of the catalog.
Of course we went.
We're dealers, so you had access to everything.
We went to W, who built us the wheel set for the bike. Did some black cells on it, of course, because the black wheels look.
Yeah, his wheels are black, and his
Yeah, and then we did the intake and exhaust kit and the tuner through Rottweiler, and we did some other mods to disable traction control and ABS, and it's a big motocross bike. I absolutely love it, and it's just the power curve's insane. It's actually scary if you get it into a field and want to wring it out, but at the same time, it's got like the reason why we like the XR650s is because it's a good like weekend bike or around the track or whatever else not. So from 2 to 5,000 RPM, let's say 2 to 4,000 RPM. It's a low RPM bike. You don't wring its neck. Well, this has the same type of torque down low, that enjoyable, just easy going. Just you don't have to fight for the power. It's that big bore, torque, but it also revs high and it doesn't sign off. So it makes an amazing amount of power. And it's man.
How many years have they been making this motor as a KTM and a Husky?
Well, we'll have to ask Chris as far as the production before this latest gen, but 2016 up. This LC4 motor was in this configuration.
KTM,
in the peak state of tune.
KTM dominated in the Paris to Dakar, where they're going, 500 miles a day for 9 days, 5,000 miles across the desert on this bike right here.
They're super reliable. They don't have bearing issues. They don't have top end issues. They have great oiling, so you don't.
We got a military copter coming over here. Little Desert Storm operation.
It's not like the thing with KTM Group. They invest the most out of any major motorcycle manufacturer in research and development. So what does that mean? Well, the product's tested for years before it reaches the production line. This is a fully developed, indestructible machine.
The componentry's off the hook. You've got the top of the line bars, you've got ODI grips, WP suspension, Brembo brakes. So if you try to do this to a Japanese bike, you'd spend as much as you pay for the motorcycle in mods, and it wouldn't be as good as this because it wouldn't be something that's been tested by multiple engineers and time tested and proven. This is a proven design that works, and it's bulletproof.
It's got some cool stuff like the gas tank in the rear, good for the weight distribution. And
Good for wheelies.
Yeah, for wheelies for sure. But even with a full tank, it doesn't feel. It feels balanced. Now that I think of it, maybe that's why a wheelie's so good, because you had the gas tank in the rear, and your KLR 650, it's tough to get up because
my KLR is a total load compared to this thing. It's like, as much as I do love my KLR, but it's very heavy and has less than half the horsepower. It's heavier with half the horsepower and terrible 30-year-old suspension.
That really tells it all, doesn't it?
Pretty much, but they're bulletproof, and I do like my KLR. Don't get me wrong, KLR guys, I'm not hating my KLR. Matter of fact, we're keeping it because Christy and I like putting around the pits on it, and it's a fun little bike to cruise around on.
So
but
this bike's for sale. It's got 100. How many miles on it?
It has 126 miles. It's brand new. It's perfect.
So that's enough of us pontificating. If you want to hear more, I got a 12-minute video with the breakdown of the spec on this bike, and then a couple more videos on our channel.
Just punch in Gasgas 700 Kaplan and tons of videos. Junior's been working with his for 4 months now?
Yeah, we got some mileage on that one, and we're loving it so far. It's going to be the weapon this summer. This one's available. We can ship it anywhere in the States inexpensively. Message your zip code for a shipping quote. We offer financing. Call for a pre-application, 860-471-0192. Freedom Road does the financing. They're in with KTM Group, so preferred financing on all the Austrian bikes right here.
Are there any rebates or anything on it right now, or no?
Not on the 700 model. This is still fresh off the boat.
I'm sure you'll give them a great price on this one because this is a demo. Beat any price on it.
Yeah, certainly come in under the dealers, and out-of-state buyers aren't going to pay sales tax. So just call in. We get you hooked up with a good out-the-door price. And kind of sad to see this one go. I'll tell you what, guys. When I was kind of hoping that we would keep this one around so that we could have this one be the freshie. First year for Gasgas with the 700 model. I know I was calling around to other dealers trying to get more, and I'm pretty sure these were, well, I'm not pretty sure. These were 1 or 2 per dealer. So there aren't a lot of these Red Rocket 700s sitting around.
If you want it, give us a call. 860-454-7024. There's only one, so till the 24s come out next year. Right?
Yep.
Junior's going to put it in the showroom where it'll be on display on the second floor of the New England Motorcycle Museum if you want to come take a look at it. It's a kick-ass machine. Brand new. 2023, all the latest, greatest technology. Thanks for watching. Nice big dumper sound. God bless America.